What is going on, guys? It's the Variety Film Brothers. I'm Andrew.
I'm Thomas.
Welcome back to Variety Discussion, and in today's video we're talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie from all the way back in 1995. Now, Power Rangers is a franchise that has been very near and dear to my heart for a very long time, but all franchises also have their low points. They're very low points. So, I'm going to be honest here, and this is going to already get me hate from the get-go. I don't think the first season of Power Rangers is really the best. I don't think Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the show, is the best already. But the movie, dude, this movie, it's not it. It's so bad.
Awful.
See, I haven't watched this. Have you ever watched this?
I've watched this one time.
Well, definitely at some point in your childhood. Like, I watched this probably 100 times, and as a kid, I thought it was so cool. See, like, I had to temper my expectations going into it for this watch. I knew it wasn't going to be, like, that A-plus movie that, childhood me remembered it as. But that being said, it is so much worse than I expected. Let's break right into our scores, because I did not expect this. Thomas, what did you score this movie?
Honestly, this was a really hard movie to score. I give it a 30.
I gave it a 37.
It was just... I don't know what to do.
Let's just get right into it. Okay, so the movie opens with a Star Wars ripoff opening crawl.
Yep.
Do you know how much I hate that?
Yeah.
That's awful. Like, Star Wars, obviously we've covered a lot of Star Wars on the channel before. That is Star Wars' thing. Yep. You can't do it. Mm-hmm. They even had a space background, and, like, I know the font was different, and it, wasn't coming from the same angle, and it had a, voiceover for all the dumbass kids that don't know how to read, but it's still too close.
Yeah.
And you didn't even need it. There wasn't any information in that opening crawl that you actually needed to know going into the movie. It's just, there are teenagers, they have superpowers, they are the Power Rangers.
Yep.
And that's literally, like, nobody was lost.
I was the whole time.
Well, I mean, in the movie you become lost because it's so stupid, but, going into it, you're not confused.
Yeah.
But, okay, so, like, I'm already mad enough.
Yep.
The first actual scene, they are skydiving. This is a Power Rangers movie, and you don't open with fighting, you open with a skydiving scene.
Yep.
And it's not, like, even good. It's not, like, it doesn't, like, set up anything later or anything like that. There's no real point of it. Like, I feel like it was especially probably expensive to film. And I'm just like, why would you waste all that money?
Yeah.
It's literally, it couldn't be more bland. Yeah. It really couldn't. And then after, about 20 minutes of skydiving?
Yep.
Then we've got about 10 minutes of roller skating.
Yep.
And, like, I know this is the 90s, so somebody had to do it, but, like, dude, this is a Power Rangers movie. Somebody kick somebody already. Like, we're probably, 30 minutes into the movie before we see any fighting. It's so hard to get through.
Yeah.
And it's something I brought up later in my notes, but I'm going to go on and mention it here, because honestly, I think this is the biggest problem of the movie. There's no main character.
Yep. Nobody
Nobody has a character arc. Thomas, what are the Power Rangers' names?
Philip. Tony. Patricia.
I think we get the point. Don't hurt yourself. But yeah, so, like, this movie has, like I said, no main character. So you don't become attached to anybody. And I understand there are 6 of them, so I understand, like, the argument for, like, you can't, like, give them all character arcs, like, but you don't have to. Is the thing. In my opinion, you should have picked, like, 2 Rangers to really get a solid character arc. And then, like, the rest of them can kind of just have, like, some good moments where they get to shine.
Yeah.
But instead, it's like everybody just kind of does stuff, and events in the movie just kind of happen.
Yep.
It's not a character-driven movie. It's just like the plot has to happen, so the plot's gonna happen. And it really sucks.
Yeah.
Like, in my opinion, that's really where this movie goes wrong. The lack of action is bad enough. Like, it shoots itself in the foot with that. This is a Power Rangers movie. Give us some action. But it's really just the lack of character identity. And, like, the movie identity, too. It feels like just so generic. It could not be more bland.
It's like they based it off the rough draft.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, if you told me there was just one draft of this movie written, like, for the script, I would 100% believe you, because
it's just like two people sitting, like, next to each other, just like, so we're gonna do this, and this, and this. Let's film it.
I think we're done here. Like, I don't know why they changed the set, because, like, the whole, like, set for, like, the Power Rangers base or whatever is different than it is in the show, and I'm like, why change it? You know, like, and it doesn't look good. Their base, the set looks awful. It looks really bad.
Yep.
Like, it looks super flat, and just, like, the show set, in my opinion, actually looks a lot better. So I'm just like, why can't we just, like, save some money and use that, or just recreate it? That should still be cheaper. Like the fact that this is a full-fledged, like, feature-length movie. I mean, it's an hour and a half, so it's pretty short for feature-length movie standards.
For like 10
but
years.
It's crazy. It's so cheap, but you can tell there was a budget there, but, like, they just didn't know what to do with it, like, at any time.
It's like, well, we have $2 million to spend. Let's just spend it on random shit.
Yeah, like skydiving.
Yep.
Like,
that probably took most of the budget. To
honestly,
be honest.
too much for sure. But, like, so, like I said, about 30 minutes into the movie, we finally get our action scene. This is the one scene in the movie that I think is actually, like, awesome.
Yep.
There are some parts that I think are actually cool, some parts that are stupid,
Yep.
some parts that are actually, like, hilarious,
Yep.
some parts that aren't funny at all, but because it's so not funny, it comes around and becomes funny again. It's insane. The whole scene, it's really not that long, maybe like 15 minutes, where they're fighting the goo grunts.
Yeah.
Dude, that sounds like it's their actual name. It's not. I came up with that off the top of my head. But, like, the scene where they're fighting them, it's actually the best scene of the movie.
Goobies.
Oh my god. That's what I'm calling them from now
No,
on.
it's the Goobies.
But, dude, when they're, like, just doing crazy backflips and, like, spin kicks and all that crazy stuff, like, part of me still doesn't love it. I wish it was better. But honestly, if it was just an hour and a half of this kind of action, the score would probably be in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
To at least, be honest with you. Like, it's not good, at least most of it. Dude, and, like, something about the scene where the White Ranger throws the sword just for it to have laser vision and cut the cable that way instead of,
2,500
dude,
flips
even the
up
sword
the air.
does backflips.
It's just like, okay, surely it's gonna cut the rope, right?
No, all of a sudden it has laser vision.
It's
Like,
why?
like, why?
Why didn't he use that later on?
Dude, I don't know, but, like, again, have more scenes like this in your movie if you want it to have this kind of vibe. Honestly, like, I would have done a Power Rangers movie completely different. I would have actually, like, tried to give it more of a story, more character arcs. Because, like, this is why Power Rangers is a joke to a lot of people. Like, can you blame them? Because they watch this and they're just like, oh, well, the one scene that was actually kind of good was stupid as hell. Like, it is kind of frustrating in a way, though, because I do think Power Rangers can be done really well. I think it has a lot of potential to be something genuinely good and not just like, oh, remember 30 years ago when this was really cool? But, like, I'll give this one scene props. It is at least funny.
Yeah.
The fact, though, that two of the Rangers have tape measure as a weapon is so stupid, especially when one of them has a bow and arrow in the show. Like, who thought that was a great change? It's so bad.
It's so funny.
But, like, I was genuinely entertained.
Yeah.
Like, throughout that 15, 20 minutes, I was genuinely entertained, genuinely having a good time, and I cannot say that for any of the rest of the movie.
Yeah. That was actually really, that actually it entertained me the most.
Exactly. That one scene. All of the other action scenes are super dull. Yep. Like, fast forward to, like, the dinosaur bones scenes.
Why did that thing come to life in the first place?
I don't get it. Like, I get they just want to have these weird mystical things going on, but, like, dude, it's so lame. You've got the Power Rangers in ninja outfits fighting dinosaur bones. like, dude, what's happening? Like, I get it's Power Rangers, it's a kids movie. Things can get a little crazy, things can get a little weird. They don't need to make complete sense all the time, but, like, dude, there's no through line in this movie at all. It is literally just random crap happening, and they somehow got the budget to do it.
I mean, I feel like if your main villain is a person made out of goo, it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what? See, your
main character is based on goo, so, like, what else can he just do?
It's funny you say that, because I actually, one thing I did kind of like was Ivan Ooze. I almost like in a. Don't get me wrong, he's terrible. Like he's so lame. But also, I think the guy playing him, I don't know who it is. I'm not gonna think of his name because I don't think I've ever known it. He's having a really fun time with it. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
And you can tell. I think whether this was supposed to be noticeable or not, but I really think they were trying to give some Palpatine Emperor vibes with this guy, but like obviously made a lot more silly. I mean, he even shoots lightning.
Yeah.
Not in a cool way. He doesn't shoot it at any of the Rangers or anything, just kind of at random things and when he gets mad. But like if you took a lot of drugs and then watched Return of the Jedi, I think you would see something like Ivan Ooze.
You would have to take so many drugs.
But he's like, I kind of like that they went with just like a, just a one-dimensional evil mustache-twirling villain, doesn't have a character arc. But I can't really give them points for that because the Rangers don't have character arcs either. If it was like, okay, we have good character moments for all 6 Rangers, but the villain's flat, I'd be like, okay, like that's fine.
Yeah.
Because 6 characters, like main characters, is a lot to juggle. But again, this movie doesn't even try to do that.
Yep.
So, like, it would have been kind of interesting to take a maybe Infinity War Thanos approach and kind of make this, like, the villains movie in a way. Because, like, if you've watched the show, you knew these characters. Not that they were super deep in the show. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I don't think Mighty Morphin is the best Power Rangers out there. Like, if I'm watching Power Rangers, I'm going to watch SPD, I'm going to watch Dino Thunder, I'm going to watch RPM, Jungle Fury, Ninja Storm. I would even watch Samurai before Mighty Morphin. I'm sorry. I know that's, like, blasphemous to say to a lot of people, but, like, that's just where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But, I mean, regardless of that, though, like, the movie is still garbage on its own. Like, completely separating it from the show, which you kind of have to do because there are no elements from the show that carry into this anyway, because everything is redone, even the suits are redone, and while I'm on the suits, how do you feel about them?
They look like they're based on an action figure.
Yeah, like they look like straight up action figures, like, and I think it's the way the armor looks.
Yeah.
And there are some shots where they, like, particularly the White Ranger's shield, I don't think looks very good. Yeah. Something about it, like, it looks rubbery in a way that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, did you pick this up at an Adam and Eve or something? Like, the suits, like, they're fine. The designs are fine. The Red Ranger's, like, thermoscope vision, whatever that was the stupidest thing ever.
That's so funny. The Gooby walks by, and then he's just purple on the outside and fucking black on the inside.
Like, he literally just walks right across the Red Ranger's field of vision, and it's like, oh, thank goodness I had this thermoscope to see that. I couldn't use my own eyeballs.
It's so funny if you just missed it completely. It's just like, guys, I can't see them anywhere.
I mean, I couldn't blame him. It looks like he's basically got just like just tinfoil on his face.
He couldn't tell because the scanner was, like, in the middle of the goobies, like...
Dude, that screen had so much crap on it. And then they gave the Yellow Ranger, like, they basically just, like, stuffed a couple of flashlights in her head, like, in her helmet, just, like, really,
that only
really
goes about
cheap
10
ones.
feet.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, literally, like, the lights in the background of the scene were 10 times brighter than the actual lights on her helmet, but they make it out to be super useful.
Yeah.
But about the suits, I don't think they're, as a whole, that bad. It's just, when the action's bad most of the time, it just doesn't help.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we arrive at some sort of planet that Zordon sends them to after Ivan destroys their base. Genuine compliment. The filming location, really good.
Yep.
They went to Australia.
Nice.
I had to look that up. Find out where that was filmed because that's actually pretty nice.
Yep.
Good choice.
Yep.
I will say that. The fight scene that happens soon after, though, total garbage.
Yep.
It's awful. It's not even a fight scene, and I don't mean that in like a way that like, oh, it was so one-sided you felt a lot of tension for the Rangers. No, it's just like garbage choreography going on everywhere on the screen, but it's not filmed well. Yeah. It's not performed very well. And I hate to crap on choreography because I know so much work goes into that, but I also can't help but think that no one was really trying that hard.
Yeah.
Really that's kind of how this whole movie feels, is that, like, everyone was just so meh.
Yeah.
All the, like, when writing the script, when showing up on set, when, performing the dialogue.
It's so funny because, like, later on whenever Zordon, like dies, everyone is just like, Well, damn.
Yeah, you can.
These are new bosses.
Yeah, you can tell they were definitely like supposed to look really sad and cry, but they all just kind of look at each other.
They're just like, so what do we do now?
Yeah, like it's really awkward. Like that was like one of the only scenes that even had a chance to like actually make you feel something in this movie, and you don't.
Nope.
Because I mean, like, do you know anything about Zordon from this movie? No.
No.
Like, no, do you know anything about the Rangers from this movie or Alpha or like nobody? Like,
I don't even know their fucking names.
yeah, exactly. Like,
I watched this whole film, guys. I have no idea what their names are.
don't even know which one Patricia is.
I don't even know.
But
there's only 2 women on this team, and I can name like 20 different names for each of these people. I don't know what these names are.
And then after the awful bird attack scene, we're introduced to Dulcia. I don't remember exactly how they pronounced it. I have never seen it spelled or anything, but so they have her come out in this like Obi-Wan Kenobi robe, and then she even makes the like some weird sound like he does in A New Hope.
That sounds like the Sand People.
It kind of does, yeah. She's got this Obi-Wan Kenobi robe on, except it's green, and then she just rips it off to reveal
this Leia costume thing.
Basically just everything.
Yeah, just,
like,
just everything.
She's basically in, like you said, a slave Leia outfit, just green and more like Vine-ish.
Yeah.
And it's weird. Because, like, the demographic of this movie, like the target audience, was probably like 8 to 12. And don't get me wrong, that's going to hold their attention. But when you really think about it, it really kind of raises this, like, the white flag of surrender. Because it's like, we genuinely don't know how to keep children's attention, so we're putting a naked woman on the screen. And, like,
it worked for me.
Like, sure, like, fine, But at the same time, like, she doesn't have any sort of character either.
Nope.
Like,
she's just hot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna disagree with you. But, like, she's supposed to be this, like, kind of reluctant mentor, but, like, she doesn't teach them anything. She gives them the crappy ninja costumes, and, like, that's it.
Makes them go to, Penis Island.
Dude, this mountain is actually shaped exactly like a penis.
Yep.
It's hilarious.
Dude, it's just a tall mountain that looks like a penis, and there's nothing else. It's just
pretty
flat.
much. Like, how did I not think this was extremely funny as a child? Like, it's supposed to be this, like, center of the planet that's, like, super powerful and mystical. Like, why not just make it a tree? Why not, like, there's...
That would have been, like, 10 times better.
Yeah, dude, like, make it a big tree. That's, like... You don't even have to do anything more than that. Just a tree.
Like, make it a big tree.
That's all you gotta do.
But nope, they made it a big, solid, long, hard rock.
Like, somebody on this design team was really horned up just throughout this whole production. It's so bad. And a lot of the sets... Oh, actually, there is one good set in this movie that I think is kind of good anyway, and it's like the bad guy's base. I think that set's fine.
Yeah.
The sets on this planet, though, are not good.
Dude, there's literally a scene where like they have like the set and then just the background. And just
you can tell it's literally just like it's just this like screen or something.
This one editor just forgot to edit.
Like and it looks so flat too. A lot of the stuff on this jungle planet, I think this would have been a good place for the budget. Like, I'm sure you remember Felucia from The Force Unleashed, the planet, the weird... Yeah, like, dude, I think if they would have actually gone out of their way to give this planet some real, like, personality and make it actually feel dangerous, that would have done wonders for this movie. Because, like, there's this scene where they're fighting these, like, I don't even know what they are, like, bull monster, dinosaur monster. Like, what even were they, dude? Like,
I don't know.
Like, dude, I swear, try explaining someone this movie, and I guarantee they're gonna think you're on something.
Oh, yeah.
But there's this scene where one of the Rangers kicks one into this very shallow pool of water.
Like fresh water.
Yeah, like, it looks like a puddle.
Yeah.
And then, for some reason, they just, like, point a fog machine at him, and I'm like, okay... Is this acid water? Is he melting?
It's so funny if all you hear is...
See, actually, that would have helped because, like, I didn't know what was going on. Like, it looked like he had just like fallen and was like trying to contact somebody through life alert because he can't get up.
And just acid, just
See,
I don't know what that's supposed to be, actually.
Exactly. Like, imagine if they had, like, acid rain or, like, acid pools, you know, like, just done something to give this planet more of an identity, because, like I said, I like the filming location they used, like, in Australia when they first got there, but it also looks nothing like the desert area. They just walked through a frickin' desert, by the way. Like, how big was that? And then, all of a sudden, all the planet is jungle. What? This is like a Minecraft world. Like, you've got biomes changing every, like, 20 feet. And, like, again, if there was, like, a reason for this, you could try to explain it, but, like, this movie is so uninterested in its own lore, and I get it, kids aren't, like...
Smart.
Yeah, they're not. They're not smart, so they're not gonna, like, dig too much into the lore, but, like, at the same time, like, Star Wars are technically, like, those are technically kids' movies, and they've got, like, the deepest cinematic lore, like, ever.
Yeah.
So, like, I just can't give it an excuse.
I don't know what's going on either. I watched this whole movie, and, like, they don't explain things very well, and I'm just like, I'm lost.
Yeah, like, like I said, I've seen this movie 100 times, and even I felt confused watching it. Like, there's just no... again, I think not having a main character really doesn't help. Because, like, if you were lost, you could at least be like, oh, well, Tommy's here. Say they made Tommy the main character, which would have been easily the best choice. That's the White Ranger.
That's the white one's name?
Yeah, Tommy.
That's a bad name for him, but... You know,
yeah, but, like, see, like, even just making him the main character, even if he didn't have an arc, you could at least be like, okay, I know where Tommy is, I know kind of, like, what's going on, because I can see Tommy and the radius around Tommy, and, like, I feel like it would help make the movie a little more focused and keep people from being as lost. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. At this point, I'm just grasping for straws, because I really wish this movie was better. So, somehow they get their powers back, and this also really bothers me, because, like, the old suits are based on dinosaurs, with the exception of White, which is based on a tiger. So, they get these new animal powers, black being a frog, red being a gorilla. I don't remember the other ones off the top of my head. But, like, the suits still look like dinosaurs. It really bothers me, in a way, because, like, they took... you know, these other animal motifs from a completely different Japanese season, and then tried to, like, you know, like with the Megazord, like, they took that from that season, but they just did a crappy CGI version of it, and it's so bad. Getting into the third act, this final battle might be the worst final battle in all of cinema. Yeah. Like, I swear, I hate to say it, but it makes the ending, like, the final battle of Suicide Squad look good. Like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So, they come back to Earth after they get their powers, and Ivan Ooze is, he's made these gigantic machines, which I've skipped out the whole Ivan Ooze plot line because it's just dumb as crap. And, you know, so he's got these evil machines, whatever, going around killing a bunch of people. So, they look bad. They look really bad, but, like, it gets worse. The Rangers put their new random animal Zords together and make possibly just the biggest CGI abomination, like, in cinema history. It looks terrible, dude. Like, I have never appreciated, you know, Megazord scenes from the show more. Like, it's crazy. The Power Rangers, the show, has such a small budget. It's tiny. But, like, you look at any season, you know, Samurai SPD, you know, Dino Thunder, RPM, I don't care, what have you. You look at those Megazord scenes, there are people in those suits doing actual choreography, and it looks like something that, like, it doesn't make you want to throw up. You know, like, it actually looks good. And I can admire that, and I can respect that. This looks horrible.
Yeah.
I can't... It's so chromy. Dude, like, all of the designs, the bad guys, the good guys, they're so harshly reflective.
It's also really blurry.
It's somehow metallic, but also blurry at the same time. And it doesn't make any... And, like, the design isn't good. Like, I showed you the practical design from the original Japanese series, so that Megazord. And, like, it's still not my favorite design, but you can at least, like, look at it, and, like, you can tell what's going on.
I can at least look at it.
Like, you know, like, there's craftsmanship to be appreciated there. But, like, this is just... It's awful.
Yep.
You don't even know what you're looking at. And really, I think that kind of sums up why this movie is such a failure to me, is because, like, all of the aspects that I love about Power Rangers that I can still really appreciate to this day are completely absent here. You know, like... does Power Rangers have the most top-notch complex choreography? No.
Yeah.
But, like, you can tell they try in the show.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's, like, most of it is honestly pretty passable, in my opinion. And, you know, like, the designs are always interesting and unique. It's just, I feel like there's always something to be appreciated, but, like, it's not here, man. It's not here. Like I said, I feel like this is probably a big reason why just a lot of people don't take Power Rangers very seriously.
Yeah.
And, you know, what else would you expect when the people making the movie aren't taking it very seriously?
I would accept it if it was due in a week.
Yeah, honestly, like, this feels like an extremely rushed production. Yeah. Just not even the CGI, like, the whole script, just the plot. There isn't even really a plot. Like, 4 things happen.
It's like random ideas that you just push them together.
Yeah, like,
boom, you gotta move it.
Yeah, like, pretty much. Like, this seems like the worst video game quest ever turned into a movie. So, the Power Rangers knee Ivan Ooze in the balls, and then, like, kick him into a... No, please laugh at it. It's stupid as crap. Someone should have been there in the writer's room to laugh at them.
That was the emergency button, too.
Dude, that is the like, this is a worst case scenario. Like, what do they do when the Megazord's on fire? Like, they try pushing the button and then the knee just goes up. Like,
no, it kicks itself in the balls.
maybe it does.
And it
it's like a self-destruct. But, like, maybe that's what it was intended to be. Like, Yellow Ranger was going to kill them all. But so they kick Ivan Ooze in the balls, and then he, like, backflips into a meteor.
Yep.
And then explodes.
Yep.
This is the worst thing ever. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know, like, I love Power Rangers, and I'm willing to give so much a pass here, but this is the dumbest crap I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
And then, that's just all I have to say about that. And then, you know, the day is saved or whatever. Oh, wait a minute. We forgot about a whole subplot about the parents being told to freaking kill themselves. Yeah. So Ivan Ooze tells all the parents that he's mind-controlled. I know I skipped over most of that subplot because it's stupid. And so once they've built his machines or whatever, he's just like, go walk off a cliff.
Yep.
And then they just, like, do it.
Yep.
That's dark.
It is.
So, like, we're allowed to have one dark element in this movie, and this is what you guys spend that on?
Suicide.
Yeah, I mean, like, mass suicide.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, dude.
And then the kid frickin'... So, like, these kids are evil, by the way. These kids have been, like, just partying for weeks. Like, at least the kids in Jimmy Neutron, like, after their... Yeah, we'll get to that movie at some point, because that's its own beast.
Yeah.
But... At least the kids in Jimmy Neutron, they only had 1 or, like, 2 days that they partied and then started to miss their parents.
Yeah.
Like, these kids, they're diabolical. Like,
yeah, I can drink Coke all night!
break out the 7-Up, dude. Like,
yeah.
Like, dude, it's so bad. Like, no one in this movie is likable.
I do have one thing to point out. Like, whenever the parents were going to kill themselves,
oh, yeah.
and, like, the kids show up, you know, they eventually try to stop them with their hands, but it doesn't work. I feel like if you really love your parents that much, you would just disable them and not let them walk off the cliff.
Just take a shovel to their kneecaps.
Like, you would do something. Like,
no, I mean, you're right.
They're your parents. You're not going to let them, like, walk off the cliff. Or,
no, I mean,
or push you and push them off the cliff. You're going to, like, hit their kneecaps with the shovel, or hit their hit their head with a shovel, or knock their knees down and choke them and let them pass out.
I mean,
you know, you're gonna do something.
I mean, you're right. Like, if I had a pickaxe and I was in that situation, I'd probably go swinging for the shins too. I mean, morally, that's the best thing to do in this situation, right? And then it's just water that wakes him up.
Yeah.
Like, all right, where were we? We hit the emergency button. We kick Ivan in the balls.
Yep.
Hits a meteor. Explodes, and then we're back on Earth, and then they're just watching fireworks. It's just like, yeah, we did it, guys.
Yep.
And I'm just like, did you go out of your way to just put as little character in this movie as possible? Because none of these people have any defining traits. In the show, they do. Like, don't get me wrong, Mighty Morphin is not a very deep Power Rangers season, if you can call any of them very deep. But, like, these characters, as portrayed in this movie, are literally just cardboard cutouts. And, like, even less than that, because they don't even have, like, stereotypical roles. Like, in the show, like, Blue, for example, is supposed to be, like, this kind of brainy nerd, doesn't really get to do stuff with, like, the cool kids or anything, but, like, as generic as a stereotype that is, could you even pick up on that from this movie?
I could tell that he was at least somewhat smart, but I couldn't tell, like... All I could tell was that he was smart and had no social cues. cues. That's all I can tell.
See, but like they don't like even do anything with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And honestly, like the acting in this movie is so bad. None of them have any good social skills, like, you know, and again, I don't really think it's the actor's fault. I think whoever directed this movie, I don't even care to look it up. I don't think he cared. Honestly, it seems like the actors didn't care that much, and maybe it's just because they were as confused as we were.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty fair. If I read that script, I wouldn't know what to think. I would show up on set like a nervous wreck, because I would honestly think you emailed this script to me as some kind of joke.
Mm-hmm.
Man, but that's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Part of me wants to like go through all the Power Rangers movies, but like they're all kind of bad, and they're all not really good representations as to why I love this franchise so much. Because like there's a reason Power Rangers isn't very popular today. And it's pretty much because I think like every time they try to make a movie, they forget what people actually like about the show, and then they just turn in some weird, you know, drug trip script. So, what do you guys think? Should we do more Power Rangers movie reviews? Should we never touch this franchise on this channel again? I have a lot more I would like to say about it, but again, the movies are not the best part of it. Yeah. So, I think that's all I've got you.
Yep, that's all I got.
Alright guys, I think that's going to wrap us up. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, especially if you've made it all the way to this point. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content just like this, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.